Arsenal versus Manchester City on the English Premier League week number 5. And the question is this: is Arsenal going to win this game? What are the tactics that Mikel Arteta is supposed to be using on this game? What is it that Mikel Arteta needs to do different as he's going to be facing Manchester City? Because remember, every time Mikel Arteta is facing the first tier teams, or the originally known as the top 6 teams, he always holds back. What are these things that he needs to do different so that he's able to win against Manchester City? Let's get into this game and of course try and see what he needs to do. Look, we are playing with Manchester City or against Manchester City, and this is a different Manchester City. This is not the Manchester City that will take on teams, beat them easily. Manchester City that was very lethal. This is a different Manchester City. It is a Manchester City that is on the rebuilding. Remember, they have brought in so many players from the midfield, the attack, even the defense. And as you're going to play with them, I expect Mikel Arteta to make sure that he's collecting points out of this game. Is it going to be easy? No, it's going to be very tough, because if Manchester City was to play like they played against Man United, or even how they played against Napoli, then they are going to bring in lots and lots of competition. But look, on the flip side, Arsenal is playing at the Emirates Stadium. We have got that home advantage. But now, what are the things that Mikel Arteta needs to do? Number one, Mikel Arteta needs to make sure that Arsenal is scoring the first goal. Because in football, that first goal changes the whole dynamic of the game. It changes the dynamic on who is going to dictate the flow of the game. Number two, Mikel Arteta needs to make sure that he's controlling the game from the midfield. And he's not allowing Manchester City to control that midfield. Because if Manchester City is not controlling the midfield, it only means that they are not creating. It only means that they will not supply the balls to Erling Haaland and the attack of Manchester City that is very lethal. And should Arsenal control that midfield, it only means that it's going to be very easy for Arsenal to score. Another thing, Mikel Arteta needs to go in full swing. Let him stop fearing. Let him stop going to games of this, higher stake with fear that, let's go for a draw. Rather, he needs to go for a win. Number 4, he needs to go full swing on the players that are supposed to be playing against Manchester City. And talking about the lineup that he needs to choose, he needs to go with this kind of players. And I will try to predict. Goalkeeper, David Raya, given. Centre-backs, let him go with Mosquera. I know Saliba is present, but still, Mosquera has been very brilliant and very solid. And is very good at putting his body on the line and, of course, defending so brilliantly. And, of course, Gabriel Magalhaes. Right back, let him go with Timber, straight up. Left back, Calafiori. And then number 6, it has to be Zubimendi. Number 8, Declan Rice. And number 10 is where the problem is. I don't expect to see Mikel Arteta play with Merino. But it is Mikel Arteta. He might end up playing with Merino at number 10. If I was Mikel Arteta, I would put Eze as number 10. All right? And then left wing, I go with Martinelli on this one. Because Martinelli is very good defensively. And Martinelli can really make those runs. And the fact that Martinelli was on the form of his life against Athletic Club, let him go ahead and give him that left wing to play. And then right wing, it has to be Noni Madueke. But if Saka is present, let Saka begin. But Noni Madueke has been very impressive. He can begin and then Saka comes in and of course finishes. And then number 9, it has to be Gyökeres, given. That is my prediction, and I feel should he go with that lineup, is going to be very lethal against Manchester City. My prediction on this game is going to be very simple. I expect Arsenal to win, but a narrow win of either 2-1 or 3-1, there and about. All right? Now, general expectations from Arsenal fans. Number 1, we really hope there's not going to be any more injuries, because these injuries have become a nuisance. I've talked about these injuries for the longest time, and they've really brought us down. Number 2, I hope it's going to be a very fair game in terms of officiating, that there's not going to be any, favorism on the game. I also expect us to make sure that you're winning this game, because should we win, we will still be on that title, race, conversation, because the Liverpool is not losing. Liverpool is winning their matches. And I also expect to just have a good weekend after Arsenal have won this game. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that has been my match preview between Arsenal and Manchester City. And my question to you is this: what is your prediction on this game? Who do you think is going to win this game? Talk to me in the comment section there. Let's keep the conversation going.